Ladies and gentlemen, if you watch Pokemon Play and you watched EUIC specifically, you might have seen one of the Pokemon was very off meta in the top four, and it was Shadow Magnezone being used by Paulasha. Now, Paulasha is a Spanish battler, and yeah, she's been using Magnezone, Shadow Magnezone specifically, also in GBL. So I just wanted to go over a team that she's been using. Yeah, it's going to be Shadow Magnezone in the lead with Shadow Gligar as the safe swap and Cresselia as well, with Grass Knot and Future Sight for the Cresselia. So no Moonblast in that moveset. Yeah, Magnezone just hits really hard. And the thing is, it's super high risk but super high reward. And you can try to mitigate that risk by using the safest swap in Great League, which is, again, Gligar. Gligar is just kind of great. I mean, I've been talking about it a lot in the Great League videos, but yeah, Gligar, while it can get pretty hard countered, it is just really a monster neutral Pokemon there. So yeah, trying to get shield advantages and then throwing wild charges into things in Great League, it's very different than in Master League. Some things survive wild charge in Master League, but in Great League, not many things survive wild charge. Now, things that you really need to be on the lookout for, obviously, like Gligar, but you still have a little bit of play there. You still have a little bit of play against Whiscash, but things like Clodsire are just like, oof, that can be pretty bad. But yeah, we're going to go over some of her games. And again, she is on page 1 of the leaderboard. I believe she's ranked 27 or 29. Do I still have a screenshot? I do not. I think she's ranked 29. So let's go ahead and get into the games. But first, if you haven't, definitely subscribe to the channel. And you can catch all these videos. And like this video as well. Alright, so we have the lead here against the Lantern. Obviously, we resist the sparks that the Lantern is doing. It will hit us with Surf. Obviously, we will survive one, but we're going for basically keeping Magnezone as healthy as possible, throwing double Wild Charge into this. We're definitely going to just throw, yeah, right away again. I guess we technically could CMP on the next one, so we could go for one more Volt Switch if we wanted to, but yeah, going to go for this one. Obviously, it could basically KO. We do end up coming in with Cresselia. Now, both of our Backmon are decent against Lantern as well. Obviously, Gligar are going to be taking super effective from the Surfs, but it's going to be able to survive one Surf no matter what. So, yeah, decides to switch into Cresselia here, and she's going to... Basically, you want that Magnezone to have as much play later as you can. So, if they did... they ended up coming in with the Wigglytuff or whatever, but we ended up taking it out because they're down shield. So going to be able to save that Magnezone for this other Charmer in the back. So it's, yeah, it's going to be Lantern Double Charm. That's an interesting comp. Kind of makes sense. You just have a bulky mon that's good against everything. Lantern is pretty neutral into a lot of things nowadays, but they do end up throwing right here. I guess... I think we're going to be able to outpace anyways. Oh, we do end up coming into the Gligar, though. The thing is, we can win CMP on the next one. So, yeah, take one. Go probably 6 wing attacks here. Let's see. Interesting. Oh, maybe trying to weaken it and then farming it down with... Oh, yeah. This is a great play here. CMPing here so that we can farm down with Magnezone. I mean, this is why Paulasha is way better than I am. End up going to have a Mirror Shot or a Wild Charge for that Alola Ninetales. Alright, they come in with the Dugong. Obviously, this is really bad for us. But the thing is, both of our Mon are decent against Dugong in the back. The only thing we do have to worry about, though, with the Magnezone is that it can, in fact, go for Drill Run, which would be able to KO us. I guess if we come with Cresselia, we... Oh, they end up shielding. Interesting. Well, if they're going to shield, I guess we can go for a shield ourselves. Although, since they were able to farm us all the way down, definitely going to have to go for a double shield. But going to come out with a lot of energy as well. I think it was it a Whiscash in the lead? I think I was talking too much. Didn't exactly see the lead. Oh, I guess we're going all in on the Cresselia here. Is a Whiscash. Obviously, Grass not going to be able to KO a Shadow Whiscash from this range. And we're not going to be too worried, I guess, about one Scald, and technically we'll outpace to the second move here. Oh, we are going to shield. I guess we're just trying to keep it as high as possible, and we know they can only get to a Mud Bomb. Now, they're definitely going to throw the Mud Bomb because they win CMP. But it would be too risky for us to go for extra energy here when we have the one shot here for the Whiscash. All right, what do they have in the back? The Dugong is basically KO'd. It could be like Annihilate, but it could be Skarmory, but it's definitely not. Oh, it is Annihilate. Now, the only thing we have to worry about is the possible switch. She waited a turn, and they did try to catch, but waiting the turn saves lives here. So Cresselia is saved here and going to be able to throw the Future Sight into this Annihilate. Oh, but I believe even a Night Slash would KO here. That was a tough game. I did want to show that one though because we hard lost the lead, hard lost the swap. Ice type into Gligar is obviously the hardest counter possible here, but she was able to make it basically down to a CMP, which is crazy when you think about it. So we did throw the mirror shot, so we are going to be up energy if they end up throwing wild charge here, so we can throw the wild charge into them if we want. They end up throwing in another one here, so we're probably going to end up going for like a farm down here, or if we go up to 100 energy, probably could end up mirror shotting. They do come in with a Gligar. Obviously this ends up being only single resisted because they are partially flying. And we are not taking very much damage from the wing attacks as we are a steel type and resisting them. The only thing we really have to avoid with the Gligar is the dig, which will one shot. So yeah, as long as we avoid that, you can gain a lot of energy, you can throw extra moves and really be fine, even double reduced on damage. Yeah, she ends up letting her Gligar go down. As you saw, she had energy on it, but yeah, able to get an extra Volt Switch in is obviously going to be very helpful. They do come with the Cresselia. This is a great matchup for Magnezone. The only thing you really have to worry about is the swap here, which they do end up swapping, but we have our own Cresselia in the back, and they already have a little bit of damage on them from the Volt Switches. So going to be able to stand. Throws a Mirror Shot. Opponent probably knows that she wasn't going to be at a Wild Charge, so was fine with just taking this move. But you know, we're going to try to get off as much damage as we can. We know the back line better than they do because they don't know what we have yet. The unfortunate thing is they do have Moonblast, but they're already so far down. I think 3 Grass Knots are going to be good here where they're going to need probably 4 Moonblasts. But they do have a lot of energy and they're already at their second one, whereas we just threw our first Grass Knot. Okay. Honestly, I think even with this Grass Knot, they're going to be pretty close to Volt Switch range in the back. And Magnezone is low, but you know, it's not taking that much damage. Although they have to have 2 Grass Knots here to even have a chance, right? Oh, and we win CMP. All right. She probably knows her IVs better. I mean, obviously she knows her IVs better than I do. I don't know them at all, but she seemed like she was very going to win that CMP. Very likely, I guess. Opponent throws on a little bit of a bad timing here. Magnezone is resisting all charge moves that Lickitung can do, so really only hurting on the lick damage, which is ghost typing, which is just straight neutral against Magnezone here. We do get to 2 of these. Probably going to switch into Gligar after this. They do... Ooh. I thought they were going to double shield, but they end up only shielding the 1. Now, they end up throwing their energy here, which is okay for us. And they end up having a interesting Carbink, not very good against Gligar, but you know, maybe they don't have any answer to it, and it is kind of low, so maybe the Rock Slides are going to be enough. Probably we're going to end up shielding this because we can make it up to a lot of moves here and really pressure this thing, whereas I guess we don't truly care that much if we bring in Cresselia, but I guess just, I mean, Gligar was going to have a lot of play here. Just let it cook, basically. All right, what do they have left here in the back? It is Annihilate. Oh, and unfortunately for them, we are able to get to an Aerial Ace here, which is going to do probably close to 60%, 70% to this Annihilate. So we do have the Focus Blast. We do have the Future Sight, which is a big move, just like Focus Blast is, but it's going to be super effective against this Annihilate, obviously. They do try to catch on the Moon Blast, but we have Focus Blast, so we're good. They do have to make a call on whether our Cresselia has Moonblast or Focus or Future Sight. Why do I keep saying Focus Blast? I really want to say Moonblast. I think that's what it is. All right, Magnezone going for the Mirror Shot here on the Wigglytuff. Obviously, it's super effective against the Fairy typing this Wigglytuff. Now, we are pretty low that a Disarming Voice would KO us, I believe, from here. They do go for the Icy Wind, which probably we would have survived, but it's fine. The timing here is 4-turn moves of Volt Switch versus the 3-turn move of Wigglytuff, so you can always go 2 Volt Switches, which is 8 turns, underneath the 3... Oh, well, they have a Bastion on. Underneath the 3-turn move of Charm, so they're going to get 3 Charms, which is 9 turns, and then your 2 Volt Switches are 8 turns, so that's the best timing for that. Always go for 2 Volt Switches against any 3-turn move user. Go for the damage onto the Gligar, and then switch into our Gligar to basically go for the farm down here. Yeah, 2 Aerial Ace is not going to be enough, although it's super close. But again, she'll probably go for energy if she does end up getting farmed down. But she's not going to get farmed down. In fact, they kind of stop attacking. I don't know if they've either given up or they just want extra farm here on the Skarmory. But to be fair, Dig is resisted, but still going to be a big move coming from the Shadow. I know it doesn't look like much here, but to get 2 free digs off onto this is pretty nice. While they're going to get a ton of farm, they can't really do much against the Magnezone here. It's just such a good lead for us. And they probably have a Swampert in the back. This is a pretty known team. Skarmory, Swampert, Annihilate is run a lot. They could also have maybe... Okay, yeah. I was also going to say they could possibly have like a Poliwrath. That could be something that would be interesting, but no, it's going to be fine here. Probably just going to go for the Grass Knots. The Psycho Cut's going to do work over time, as this matchup's definitely going to go to the 2 shield. Okay. A Shadow Ball doesn't KO us, and at this point, it is pretty low that even fast attacks from the Magnezone could do a lot here. The only thing is, counter does do a lot, so going to go for the next shield here. And yeah, she's gonna go for just the next Grass Knot. No, tries to go for the farm down, and then also she's waiting on the timer there, and then they end up coming with Skarmory to try to catch a move. But she's ready for it and comes in with the Magnezone, farms it down, throws the Mirror Shot into this, and we have the Grass Knot still on the Cresselia. So I think we're good. I guess if it has 2 Night Slashes, oh no, we're super healthy here, way more healthy than I thought. All right, Altaria, we do resist the Dragon Breath. We do resist both of the charge moves, being Moonblast and Sky Attack from the Altaria as well. So probably could just take this and then go for a double Wild Charge. That would be my guess at least. Yeah, she goes up to a double Wild Charge, going to throw back-to-back for sure. If they double shield, I guess she'll go into Cresselia, just being more bulky to sustain the damage from the Dragon Breaths. I picked right. That's always a good move. They could think that we have Moonblast, so they do throw 1 turn before the Future Sight here. Moonblast would obviously KO this. They end up switching into Lantern. We do have 2 Grass Knots. She's probably going to go 2 more Psycho Cuts here and then throw the Grass Knots. Although technically not going to beat it to a move anyways, and this not going to KO either. So just throws right away. Thunderbolt... You could go for the shield here and the farm down, or you could just go all in on the Magnezone getting... oh, wow, they went for a double Surf. All right, you're definitely going to come in with Magnezone as it's going to get that extra energy, and then she decides, you know what, we have all sorts of coverage here. Let's go ahead and keep this alive. And I'm guessing Annihilate in the back? Ooh, I think she also thought it was going to be Annihilate just because of the way they... decided to come in with the and just eat that energy. All right, another Lickitung lead here. We saw how she played it out the first time. No shield into double Wild Charge. Technically, they could CMP us on the next one. They do come in with a Poliwrath. They eat this Wild Charge. We can go into either of them on here. Technically, the safer one is... Oh, we did get KO'd actually on that one. Ooh, that's tough. I guess the defense drop plus the counter from the Shadow Poliwrath is doing a lot of damage. Yeah, just got a little too low there, I think, but it's fine. Both of our Mon are fine against this. Going for the Future Sight, I really like this as it obviously does a lot more damage than the Grass Knot. This could go for the KO, basically. And then we have a decision of Gligar in the back if they do bring in something like Annihilate here in the front. Annihilate did kind of make sense, but Cresselia is fine as well, just because we're up shields. Usually this matchup not being very good. If they go up to the future site, we definitely have to shield, but they end up throwing the Grass Knot right away, so going to hold on to the shields, and yeah, we're at 2 digs. Well, you can't get to 2 digs, but we're 1 off from the second dig here. We do have to remember they do have a catch possibility with the Lickitung. Actually, the Lickitung has a lot of HP left still, so again, probably fine going straight dig, as if it even hits the other mon, it's fine. We are really close to Grass Knot range here. Also, did we lose CMP against Cresselia? No, we did not get the move off. Dang. I was like, well, I actually don't know how the CMP works against Cresselia, so do go for the double dig onto the Lickitung here. It's definitely going to KO, and then we can get to another move. Plus, we have our own Cresselia here in the back. Probably can just go for an Aerial Ace. Ooh. Interesting. We made it to the dig, but we ended up throwing Aerial Ace. I probably would have just thrown an Aerial Ace right away, just to go into the mirror match with a big lead. She ends up going for the catch here, but the opponent just decides to leave. Mantine lead, obviously horrific for the opponent. And then they come in with Annihilate. You can always outpace it to the Shadow Ball, as long as you switch in within the first 2 counters. You do lose CMP though, so definitely not something you want to CMP on. And yeah, they end up letting it go, and obviously this is not a good matchup for Mantine to be still lined up against the Magnezone. They're going to go for, well, I assume they're going to go for the Ice Beam or the Water move if they have a Water Pulse. They do have Ice Beam, it KOs. We can just come in Magnezone. We do have to wait the timer, as our timer's not necessarily up yet. They do come in with a Whiscash, and although again, like the Gligar, it is single resisted, still going to do a decent amount, almost does half. And definitely going to lead this normal, aka the non-Shadow Whiscash, into Grass Knot range, which is great for us. So we're not being threatened by one move. Even if we get the attack debuffed, I believe it's still in one-shot range. Grass is double super effective against the water and ground typing of Whiscash, so going to be fine to CMP here as well. Nothing bad here. We can take their shield, and we still haven't shielded. If we do have to be careful, though. I think Switch is coming up pretty soon. Again, they switched before we did, so I think they're going to try to go for a catch here. They go for, I guess this is a Mud Bomb. Yeah. They do go for a catch, and we probably should shield this. Or not. Technically, we don't have to because we get to farm down here, and they're definitely in range of a Wild Charge. So, yeah. Opponent knows, and they leave the game, so. Another Lickitung lead, apparently in the 33... I forgot if I said it at the beginning of the video, but it's in the thumbnails. She is 33-37 in rating, so that is the top. I know I said she was ranked 27 or 29. It's top 30 on the leaderboard, 3,300. So the opponents are around that range also, and I was going to say seems to be a really at least noteworthy decision, that a lot of the top trainers seem to be having Lickitung in the lead, as it is just a safe lead. And if I was to guess just based on this, it's either Gligar or Whiscash in the back. Although you'd be pretty weak to fighting if that were the case, although Lickitung holds its own, and Skarmory is weird into the fighters. In even shield scenarios, it's usually not great. In non-shield scenarios, though, it is great. That is her sub notification, I guess, on Twitch. So, oh yeah, she streams on Twitch, obviously. I'm showcasing her battles from Twitch. Yeah, I always ask, by the way, I don't know if y'all know or care, but I always ask if I can showcase battles, and she said yeah, as with any other person I've showcased. Yeah, but definitely goes give her a sub. I believe she's been streaming at least the last month or so every single day, as far as I've noticed. So definitely you can catch a lot of high-level battles. Obviously, again, in Pokemon Play and GBL, she's one of the best, just in PvP in general. All right, back into this game. Future Sight obviously going to do a lot of damage to this Wigglytuff. It's going to be close to Grass Knot range at this point, but we're close to the Future Sight anyways, so we can just go for Future Sight as well. Nothing can really go wrong there. since they're out of shields anyways, and this is their last mon. So GG. The bulk of Cresselia really gives a lot of winning chances to them. Okay, so I have noticed she did do this the last time we were in a Magnezone lead. Does seem to go for the bait. Oh, we are getting some delay, I guess. They probably definitely throw the wild charge here, and she, I guess, throws at the second wild charge, throws another mirror shot, which is definitely going to make the opponent shield, as they already defense debuffed. Opponent's kind of in a awkward spot because we can go for the shield here, and that last Volt Switch did knock out. They just don't know it yet. Another phrase I notice I say a lot, they just don't know it yet. Like when a move goes through on the background or on the back end, but it hasn't shown yet because they're in the middle of a charge move animation. I don't know, I really like saying it. So coming into the Gligar, and they come in with Mantine. Obviously, this is a really bad matchup for the Gligar, but we can do a lot of damage, and they probably don't want to get farmed down. So they're going to go up to 2 moves. But they have to hit us with an Ice Beam. They can't exactly throw an Aerial Ace here. It would be really weird if they threw an Aerial Ace. Yeah, they go for the Water Pulse. Ooh, first one with the Water Pulse. I believe we saw 2 with Ice Beams. So it really just depends what you want the coverage for. If you need the Dragon coverage, you go for the Ice Beam. If you need specifically water coverage, you just go for the Water Pulse. They do have Annihilate here in the back. We do go for the Future Sight. But if they shield, I don't think we're in Shadow Ball range, but it's close. They go for Night Slash. They're going to go for Night Slash Shadow Ball? Or do they have Night Slash Ice Punch? So I will say a lot of the Annihilate's not really running Ice Punch. She goes for the combo play. Oh, they are out of shields after the Future Sight. So yeah, this is a great combo play here. I will say I haven't seen very much Ice Punch, but... Oh, this is a 2-0 Butters, by the way. Man, I would have played this team to showcase to y'all, but I do not have a Goodra in Great League, and all the Goodras I have, which is 4, by the way, or Goomies, Gooma? I forget the name of it, but they're all like egg ones, so I can't really make one for y'all, but definitely you should try this team, and you should also follow 2-0 Butters on Twitch. He's a caster for Pokemon Play, and he's a streamer as well, so... Also, he plays a ton of Spice. If you're into Spice, definitely go for that. I think he's been playing this team for like 5 days, though. He said in preparation for... He's going to be playing in his first Pokemon Play, I believe, at the Los Angeles Regional. So check him out there. Hopefully he'll bring... maybe he'll bring Goodra, because it's been doing him so well in GBL as well. So he does come in with a Skarmory against our Cresselia here. Obviously, this is not very good. The... Future Sight obviously going to be doing the most here. Not only does it have stab, it's just not double resistant like the Grass Knot. Just single resisted is great. 2-0 Butters obviously going for a lot of energy here, which is a great play. The only thing that's a little awkward is a Brave Bird definitely doesn't KO from here, and it puts you in a little bit of a susceptible position if we can get to a Grass Knot. But I wonder... Oh, man. He's definitely going to shield this. The only... Oh. Okay, but we need the attack debuff to even have a chance here because the counters are doing 1 billion damage to us. No, that's GG. You can try either of those teams. All right, Whiscash here. Obviously, this is a good matchup. Again, it being the Shadow means that it's going to be taking so much damage. 18% more damage, I believe. Or maybe it's 20 from being the Shadow version, but it's dealing that much extra damage as well. So, you know, you take the good with the bad. Now, it does end up surviving, but you're not going to get KO'd by the next Scald, so going to hopefully try to go for farm down, but you got to be careful of the double Mud Bomb here. And instead of letting it, our opponent get to the double Mud Bomb, we do throw one before, which obviously makes a lot of sense. We'd be losing CMP. They do end up coming back in with the Dugong. Obviously, we have Grass moves, so that's great for us. I guess we're in Icy Wind range, so really no reason for the opponent not to go for Icy Wind here. They're going to throw... They're going for a massive farm down. I'm just now thinking about it. Okay, but this is doing a lot of damage, and we end up getting a shield from them. Yeah, they're going to get a shield from us. They're probably going to get 2 shields from us, if I'm being honest. We do have to win this. We can't allow the Dugong to go into the Gligar, but we're also going to have a ton of energy going into this next matchup, even if even if it's like Gligar, which is what I think it is right now. Okay, it ends up being Annihilate. Gonna go for the Wild Charge, which obviously does not super effective damage, but it does a super amount of damage. And we still have the Gligar. They did not... Well, we don't die to a Shadow Ball here anyways. We knew we were going to go for the CMP there, and obviously the Annihilate wins CMP. I didn't mention that earlier. Going to go for a little bit of extra energy, and then throw the Aerial Ace, which will now KO. And the Dugong was pretty low. We'll probably just go for the Aerial Ace. Okay, maybe not. Okay. Made that a little scarier than I thought. But I guess they don't get to sneak in any moves if we do that. Interesting. That's an interesting thing to think about. All right, they do have the Dugong in the lead. We do have to shield, even though I think I saw this exact battle, and she said it's always Icy Wind here, but you can't risk anything. And then they do come in with Mandibuzz. She also said she had played this person a few days ago. She remembers the Dugong Mandibuzz, but couldn't remember what the third was. And actually, I'm forgetting what the third was as well. I did watch a few of these battles during the stream, and this is definitely one of them, but it's sad to think about that I watched it and I still can't remember, but I remember the dialogue around it. Maybe they don't show, actually. All right. Is she going to be able to go for the farm down here? She is going to survive one more Dark Pulse, but if this is an Aerial Ace, it's going to be tough because they can get to another Aerial Ace, so she does end up going for the CMP here, just to make sure that if they shield, she shields. Another one of the Vergy catchphrases. That comes back in with the Dugong here, but we are able to make it to a dig, which obviously does a ton of damage. And the Magnezone could go for one Volt Switch here, but probably would have to, will have to shield 100% if we do go in with the Magnezone. They do end up coming in with a Wigglytuff, and even though we're switching right away, even though it would be a great matchup for us, we just want to make sure that, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess she wants energy on the Magnezone for the Dugong. Plus, you can't really farm down very many things effectively with Cresselia. So I think she wants to probably save her shield for the Magnezone and just kind of throw the bulk and then throw away this Cresselia into this Wigglytuff. I think at this point, even though we're reduced in attack, it probably is in Grass Knot range, although it is probably really close here. And then, again, the Dugong is one Volt Switch away, I think, so that's going to be GG. Oh, that was all the games. All right. GG's, thanks for letting us show your battles, Paulasha. And again, if you should just go to Twitch right now. I'll have the link to her Twitch in the description below. Subscribe to her. Again, if you want to watch her in Pokemon Play or in GBL, she is one of the best around. Obviously, page 1 of the leaderboard, you have to be really good. As far as this video for me, definitely you see that Shadow Magnezone has a lot of play as long as you're up shields and not in like a Clodsire type of matchup, or the Shadow counter users obviously are doing a ton. So, yeah, obviously an ABB team in relation to the ground users. Obviously, Gligar into its mirror match is neutral, and then Gligar is pretty good against the ground users outside of that. Obviously, pretty good against Clodsire. Whiscash is not as bad as you would think. Obviously, it is a loss, but not as bad as you would think. And then Cresselia has play against the ground types with its grass moves, or if it has that subtyping of poison like Clodsire has, you have the Future Sight. And then the Future Sight obviously super effective against the ground typing. So yeah, if you like an ABB squad like we do on this channel, definitely try this team out. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you want to watch more videos from this channel, and maybe more submitted battles from page 1 leaderboarders, definitely hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video, and if you want to continue to support me, definitely click that subscribe button. You'll see any content coming out, and if you want another video on this same league for some more tips and tricks to other teams, check that video out right there, and I'll see you in the next one.